So today is my very first day of school for plumbing intermediate. We gotta go all the way downtown, and now we're about to do that. Bloody early right now. It's 5:37 in the morning that nobody is awake, and it's still pitch black basically. That's how early we have to go because we live so far away. Toronto at 6:58 in the morning, heading towards the train, basically going to school. It's really loud. That's Toronto for you. Off the train, about 2 minutes away from school. Not really excited, more ready for work, if you know what I'm saying. These are the boys from plumbing. Everybody say hi. Baka. Peeps, what's crack-a-lackin'? We're in the car right now. I am leaving downtown. I'm leaving my wife's shop, and I'm heading out back to where I live. I have to stop by a store first of all, but just to give you a brief update as to how school was for the first day. It was pretty chill. We had a pretty regular first day of class. Usually on the first day they give you the basic itinerary of what's going to happen throughout the course of the semester. They give you an overview. They also get just basic contact information and all that stuff. And then, you know, a bunch of guys from my class last year were here as well. I think it was a good 6 of us, and we ended up seeing each other in the morning. We ended up sitting down after class and having some food together and just overall enjoying ourselves. So it was really nice, you know. It was kind of like seeing a bunch of old buddies you had, and that's exactly what they were. They're buddies of mine. So we had a good time. We laughed it up. We sort of went through different stories we experienced in the past year during plumbing and the different things we had to do in order to surpass these hurdles that we met on the job site and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. There's a lot of camaraderie involved in going to school and seeing a bunch of people that are in the same trade as you. We do have a test this Friday. We found out today. Our teacher was like, look, I'm gonna do some review, just so you know there is gonna be a test. And the way tests work is they always happen on the Friday. So you get a week worth of theory, and then you get a test at the end of the week, which is a nice setup because I've always found it difficult when you had a month worth of theory and then you have this massive test at the end of the year or the end of the semester. That never worked out in anybody's favor, in my opinion. It always was way harder because you got to go back a few weeks and now start memorizing stuff that you can't even remember. So the good thing is that you get the theory that week, you can ask questions that week, you can approach the teacher after class that week, and then that week you have a test on all that information, which is always the way to go in my opinion. So Friday classes are basically you go in, you do the test, it takes a couple of hours. You at least have a couple of hours to write it. Usually it takes around 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And then once you're done, you're done. Your day's over. You end your Friday at like 10 o'clock. You can start on your weekend, or you can go do a job. A lot of the guys, if they have side jobs to do, they book them for Friday and Saturday. I'm a bit tired right now, but here's the itinerary for what we have to do. So I'm sort of in the market for a brand new camera right now. This camera that I'm recording on, I bought about 5 years ago. And the thing is that it does the job. It's an HD camera, but you can tell that its abilities aren't very strong. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Okay. This is downtown driving. This is how it feels. It's always super hectic. The downfalls to the camera that I have right now, that you're watching this on right now, is that it does really poor in low light. So you'll see it become really grainy if I'm in a really, even dark shade kind of throws it off sometimes. So when I watch other vloggers, I just watch how crisp the video is, and it just kind of makes me go, oh, you know, this camera's not up to standard. I don't know what to do. But the downside of this is that the cameras I'm looking at are starting at $800. It's quite a jump in price, you know. You're gonna definitely feel it in the pocket. But I'm sort of in the market. I mean, I'm taking a look at one, and I'm sort of just gonna run to the store, see what they are. For some reason, I can't get this camera in Canada. I mean, I found one, but it ships from somewhere really far. I looked it up on Best Buy. I can't find them at the Best Buy store. I don't know why. I even search it into Google, and it gives me the Best Buy website. So apparently they had this camera at some point, but they don't anymore. It's all very, very strange. I'm getting used to the ring. If you see me touching my finger, it's me getting used to the ring. I'm learning how to fiddle with it. Maybe I just find it uncomfortable still. I don't know. It's a weird thing. You gotta get used to it. I've always loved rings, by the way. Always loved them as an accessory, but it's never an accessory I ever had. I was always too lazy to go out and find my ring size, so us getting married was sort of me forcing myself into a position where I had to go out. Peeps, day 2 of school, currently in the caf. It is 6:54 in the morning. It is absolutely dead right now. Well, there are a few people in here. Just waiting for Tim Hortons to open so I can get myself a coffee. I'm about to work on some music, which is what I typically do in the mornings when I get here pretty early. I pull up my laptop and basically just work on my next song. That's how I got Goat's Gruff started last year, September, in school. Ended up producing it, I think it was like July, so it took me a while nonetheless. Anyways, that's the plan. Then we have our first day of classes where we actually take theory, and then after that we might have shop. I'm not so sure. I didn't bring anything that I was supposed to for shop. You're supposed to bring steel toes and all of your tools, but aside from that, that's basically it. Tomorrow's Thursday, and tomorrow is study night, because Friday we have a test. We have a test every Friday. Just want to give you that quick update. By the way, I'm not buying that new camcorder just yet. I have other things that I need to put the money towards, but I might be coming up with a bit of a challenge for myself, so maybe at the end of this I might be able to actually get one. We'll see. Alrighty, quick update as to what's going on right now. So a couple of things I have to do in for tomorrow. First thing, what I have to do is today during plumbing class, we finally started writing down notes, and we started learning new theory. We're going through something that we learned last year during plumbing school, and that's talking about vents. In short, for those of you that don't know about plumbing, I'm not going to bore you to death, but a vent is a pipe that distributes air. That's where I'm going to leave it at. Don't fall asleep. So what we have to do is we have to draw a drain plan. So you have a house. Somebody at the beginning of that infrastructure had to decide on how the drains were going to run, and they drew a drain plan. That's what I essentially have to do for tomorrow. The only problem is that I haven't done that for an entire year. So I'm a bit rusty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my last year's notes and figure out what I did then. I'm going to take it to school for help, and I'm going to try to do a decent drain plan with this brand new plan that he gave us. That's what I have to do. I have to make sure that I go out and find all my drain stuff that I did last year, and then I'm going to have to implement it in the class tomorrow whenever I can. What I'm about to do right now is something I wanted to do before. You know how for the wedding I had to do a slideshow? Well, we had to go into our old albums, our old family albums, and find the pictures that we wanted to use essentially for the albums, for the the slideshows, I should have said. So as we were doing this, we were realizing that the hardest part would be putting them back in the albums in the correct order. I think it's important to put them back exactly as they were. That way, you know, whoever made that album gets to keep it the way it was. So I ended up taking a ton of pictures on my phone, and what I have to do is now go into my phone, find out where the pictures I took out of there were, and then put them back in the correct album. It might take a while, in other words. That was me on my soccer team, Wexford, when I played soccer competitively. I must have been 15, 16 when I took that picture. You know, reminiscing once again. Even though I finished the slideshow and I showed it to all 90 guests, it's still kind of nice to look into it, but it took me a long time to find the right pages for the right pictures. It must have been over 25 to 30 pictures, so it took a while. Alright, peeps. I'm gonna grab some food. Yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna grab some food.